I took a 10-month vacation. I boosted some tools out of the truck. Nice too, brand new. I mean, not even opened yet. No.
Terry and Eddie have known each other a long time. Terry has spent most of his life in institutions and prison, but he is not helpless by any means.
Half now and half at the end of the week.
Yeah.
Well, he gave me the half now, but come the end of the week, I went to get my money. So I went up the next day and there was nobody home. Took my tools back. They were sitting on his porch. So I took all my tools back. Golf. I was in golf.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
And it's done?
Yeah, I'm finished now. I'm all clean. I got no more warrants. Except in every other province that there is. So if I stay in Ontario, I'm fine. My mother's full-blooded Cree Indian.
Right.
And I have a saying, the top half is Indian, bottom half is the asshole.
Terry had a variety of tools up his sleeve, and he preferred honest work to crime, but could rarely get honest work. So he adapted.
Ooh, wrong end. Yeah, because you want, the copper is what you want. Because you can only get up so high, and I was walking along. See that bottom flat piece?
Yeah.
I was walking along there all the way.
Seriously?
Around. Oh yeah, hanging on with one hand, walking along, pulling it off.
Terry and Eddie often faced hazardous conditions to eke an existence from scrap, and in the time I've known them, they have never begged. It's amazing how hard these guys work to make $30 or $40 a day, and I sometimes think it wasn't about the money, but perhaps about keeping themselves otherwise occupied.
I did. Let's see what happened, man. Are you cut?
No, just smack my elbow. Right, because that's heavy copper in there. There's, about 22 a pound, 30 pounds, about $42. Which, I mean, $42 to some people isn't much, but for me, it keeps me going for 3-4 days.
As a harm reduction worker, I did needle exchange, provided condoms for sex trade workers and others on the street. I flew a crack pipe program one place because we know that Hep C is being passed through the pipes, as is tuberculosis.
Not everyone in Tent City was an addict or an ex-convict. Bonnie arrived after a personal cataclysm left her homeless.
Reduction work, I had
Did you get paid well for this kind of work?
no, I didn't get paid well, and I'll tell you one of my sort of pet peeves is my ex-husband was a computer repairman, and for him to fix some kid's computer cost $65 an hour, but for me to keep their kid alive with clean needles, condoms, and counseling, for that I got $15 to $16 an hour. You figure out the justice. I'll tell you something else I believe about this. When our ancestors drank hard, or most of our ancestors drank hard, built shacks, had nowhere to live, couldn't afford land, they were called pioneers. A bunch of people come down here, take all the garbage from society, rebuild homes with it, and they're called homeless. I don't think we're homeless. I think we're alternatively housed, and I think nobody wants to accept that.
In the winter of 2002, while homeless people died on the streets of Toronto or suffered the iniquities of an overburdened hostile system, folks in Tent City fared well. They were warm. They helped each other out.
That is with the regular hinge, but you never could take the lid away. So now you only could maybe heat a pot of water, but it's not good for cooking. So I have the hinge changed that you can take it and lift it right up. Now, to lift it right up, when you have the oven on, the metal going to be hot.
And then one night my dad caught me coming back in my window. He was sitting in my room. Did I ever fucking get it beaten? Oh my God. But it never helped. I did it over and over and over again all the time. Then I started doing drugs at an early age.
What kind of drug?
I started just doing pot at first, and then it just got heavier and heavier. And I got into cocaine and speed and you fucking name it. So when I started doing heavy chemicals, I started stealing more and doing a lot of crime, eh? Then I ended up selling drugs. I did 18 months for that. It's only maybe once or twice a week now, hey? Which is fucking amazing for me because I used to go all the time. Toronto never sleeps.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's always tricks out on the street, always.
Right.
I started and I trusted this guy for some reason. I just trusted him, right? Because usually a hooker will get bad vibes off a trick if they're not good.
Oh, right.
I said, okay, that's enough. I got up, started putting my clothes on. He fucking rips my fucking shirt right off my back. Okay? Grabs a knife off the table, tries to stab me. So I go like this, kicked it right out of his fucking hand. Little did he know there was another knife there. So I picked it up off the table and I said, come on, you motherfucker. I said, you better let me the fuck out of here. I'm ramming this right through you. Okay? So he let me go. I dropped the knife and ran out of the house with no clothes on. And as soon as I walked out of the door, there was a cop right across the street, Eric. I said, and he's looking at me, what the fuck is going on? I like it down here, I really do. And if it comes to the point where they're gonna kick us out of here, I want to take my house with me. We've built it to be moved.
Pivotal moments happen in everyone's life, but for a tiny community, the special events of one person's life can greatly affect the whole.
Stop by just to say hi, to make an appearance. I sure as fuck ain't gonna help them. I don't believe in it.
I don't think it's about the church. I think it's just about them having a place to
make it look more like a community. Wait till the first kid's born down here.
When's that happening?
A few months.
Who's pregnant?
Shannon with Danny and then Karen with me.
Before we stopped smoking, we didn't really care about this house.
I remember Shannon as one of the squeegee kids downtown. She looked frantic and crazed most of the time.
Smoking, we've been clean 4.5 months. I'm proud. I really am. It's only 4.5 months.
Now sober, she seemed hopeful, yet haunted.
How old are you, Shannon?
I'm 20 years old. I lived in a group home.
Right.
And
How'd you end up in a group home?
my parents. My mother's a crackhead and my father's an alcoholic. 4.5 months. And with my son, I was this big at 7 months.
You have another son.
I have one little boy.
Let's see.
We lost custody of him. For one, we can't bring a baby down here.
No.
2, our addiction.
Like so many of the young troubled homeless I met on my journey, it was Shannon's past which caught up with her, regardless of where she lived or how she was housed.
But I'm still not on my own. Like, I'm in transitional housing. Last time I spoke to my father when I was pregnant with my son, I told him I was pregnant. He called me a fool and hung up the phone. That's the last time I spoke to him. Basically, my mother was never around. All I cared about was my next toke. That's all I cared about. When I squeegeed for my dope. I'd make 20 bucks and go get 20 piece. Make 20 bucks, go get 20 piece. Make 20. In 5 years, right now I want to go back to high school and finish my grade 12. I got 7 credits to finish, and then I want to go to college.
What do you want to study?
You know what? Childcare.
You get a chance to talk to them. That will be something to see them have a baby here.
Yeah. And then it becomes a community.
And then it's,
Then they're really fucked out the city. Then they have to help.
Or not.
Well, supposedly there's supposed to be a fucking what do you call it? Prefab coming in. I heard February 23rd.
They're building it right now.
Yeah.
For some time, the city had toyed with moving Tent City and other homeless people to a permanent squat on Commissioner Street. The Toronto Disaster Relief Committee, which had always supported Tent City, saw this prefab as a solution to the housing needs of the homeless. It cost around $12,000 and in short time was filthy and old. Most of the residents of Tent City felt their needs would be better served had they been given the $12,000 and allowed to build from garbage and scrap.